Welcome aboard, everyone. My name is Decorator Omega, and welcome back to Stasis. Right, so what was I doing? It ran me in here, but I can't go that way. Nope. Where am I going? Again, I can't go that way. Oh, this is all on fire. Let's go. Oh, okay. Wee. Shut up, Milan! You're gonna get eaten by Samantha.
Mr. Maracek, I'm gonna make sure you burn for what you and your friends have done to me. To my home!
No, please. I have nothing to do with this.
You do.
You won't get much further.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die, John. Don't worry about him.
Goodbye.
He's gonna get eaten. And we're gonna get to watch, or we're gonna get to kill him. And I'll be totally for either way.
Where is Rebecca?
She's in the containment area at the other end of Seed.
Okay. She's probably dead, isn't she? Thought that was about to kill me. Okay.
Looks like this place is being expanded.
It was always expanded. That place scares me.
Slug gun.
Thanks.
Sorry.
A slug gun. Give me a slug gun. Closed power cell housing. It's locked. What about that one? They're all locked, aren't they? Fucking shoot it!
This isn't gonna work.
Okay, well then shoot that. Or that light. I don't know. Fine. You growl at me.
This'll fit.
Don't you growl at me. Which ways can I go? Hanging wires. Can't pick those up. Alright, let's go.
Warning. Halo thing hepatotoxicity is at an elevated level.
Oh, it's a robot. Well, shit! That was... Fuck! That thing just did not like me.
She's in the containment area at the other end of Seed.
This place is being expanded.
It was always expanded. That place
I think this music is supposed to have ended.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, this music's probably supposed to have ended.
Toxicity is at an elevated level.
Oh, go that way, go that way, go that way, go that way, go that way. Through a wall. Now, I'm pretty sure, guys, unless there was another one.
Where is Rebecca?
Ugh.
Area at the other end of Seed.
Let me just make a save right before I enter there.
This place is being expanded.
It was always expanded. That place scares me.
Thanks.
Sorry.
I keep hitting escape. Because that is one way to save. Also, this music is really, really loud. Save there. Come on. Fucking leg it.
Halo thing hepatotox.
Hello!
I can't even.
Gross.
See?
What kind of a monster would do this? These women, these poor women.
It's a seed, isn't it?
This is torture. This is.
Science.
What revolutionize this? Well, there's reluctant and painful. And then you got hybrid fetuses over here. Peculiar with this particular placenta on closer to tiny ragged apertures across its surface, being eaten at from within. fuck's inside of this? Oh, can I die to these?
They don't look human.
Hybrids?
I can't tell.
Probably.
These women must have families and lives.
You can't do anything for them now. Soon this ship will run out of oxygen. They won't be in pain for much longer.
A second in this place is more torture than anyone should bear.
This is true. Go give that a tug. Why is it locked? Portable
Defibrillator. And it looks like it's fully charged.
No, nothing about that one. You dick. Okay, what's this? Probably to a hole in the ground where they just burn the dead ones, or the people who aren't useful. What am I gonna do with all this shit?
No.
What am
Crazy.
what am I gonna do with all this shit?
This isn't
I don't know.
gonna work.
Okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do with. Oh, hello. There's a computer terminal. John. That's the long ray, John. What are you doing? Why does he do that? Alright, let's see what they have to say. For the eyes of the Kane Board of Directors only, seeded is an attempt to create the ultimate super soldier by, in simple terms, activating junk strands of human DNA. Over the years, the human genome has shed or made dormant certain strands of its own DNA sequence for various evolutionary reasons. Professor Salam Gerund observed that certain dormant parts of these genes were not so much junk as they were potential, that is, genetic information, contained and completely sublimated by a dominant gene. Professor Gerund engineered an early life form based on this original theory by introducing these identified genetic strands in the early stages of embryo formation. The initial concept was intriguing, but its ultimate result was a group of uncontrollable animalistic creatures. Version 6 of this proposal is to update these same dormant genes into the human makeup by use of genetic splicing, thereby introducing desirable physical and mental characteristics over a generation to produce fast-learning, hard-to-kill, and utterly ruthless soldiers. It sounds like it worked, it's just that they kill everything. They are learning, they are fast, they are smart. They're wearing your skins, people. Their vital signs are steady. Certain hormonal levels are extremely high, but I'm encountering this with judicious administration of depressants. Oh, countering, in each case. Survival chance is very high. She is young, healthy, and there are no signs of any infections or complications capable of disrupting the birth. Recommendations: keep under observation, prepare for phase 1 treatment. One of these is going to go horribly wrong. The subject, despite her promising early progress, appears to be failing. The supposition is that she cannot withstand the foreign genetic structure that is being fused into her body. Typical signs of rejection are being displayed. Observe for an additional 24 hours. If there are no signs of improvement, termination and disposal of the patient is recommended. Subject is progressing well as being aesthetically attractive. She has all... Really? She has all of the other genetic traits required. Initial concerns about her suitability, voiced by Dr. Milan, chiefly due to her number of sexual partners, have been proven unfounded. She will be a perfect carrier. The hybrid DNA is fusing to my satisfaction. Apart from a small amount of pain, her body appears to be coping with the adjustments. I prescribed her a steady dose of anesthetic to keep her subdued and comfortable. Since delivery, hybrid subject 302 has been kept inside an incubator. Due to his respiratory distress, assisted breathing is required. Cardiac arrest has occurred and the use of automated external defibrillators have been required to revive the child. I deduce that the conditions and sickliness are due to the late molecular bonding between hybrid and host DNA in the mother. A weak nervous system is also highly likely in this case, but the subject's regenerative abilities can be stimulated with steroids. Child is weak, but will survive. The mother is suitable for continued breeding. Are you 302 then? You might be 302. I can't do anything on this computer terminal, can I? No. Alright. Let me go find something to do.
Don't worry. I'm here.
I don't think they're awake, buddy.
I'm gonna help you.
I don't think you
Get
can.
me out of here. This is just a bad dream.
Oh, I can interact with this one. Gross. They are still breathing, though. Okay. So. Stay there. a sink, and the world's fastest laser grid. Alright. How far down does this thing go? Let's just make everything alright. Just save right there. Just in case they can't come all the way down here. Oh, there's a sink there. And a platform down there. Yep. Are they gonna come all the way down? No. Okay. Well, that's good. Okay. Can I... Look out. Okay. Spilled water there. Okay. I feel like I'm about to shock a robot to death. It's a robot. Right? He's on it.
I think that'll just break it.
Oh, fuck off. Where... Can I just shoot it? Or can I shock a different place? Maybe I have to go right up behind it to for this to work. Alright, come on back. Come on, I won't hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you quite a lot. Well, you're... I don't know. You're a robot.
No, that won't work.
Oh, did I just use it on the fucking robot, not the spilled water? I'd probably have to use it directly on the spilled water. Oh, fuck's sake! Come on. Come on, let's just, not fuck this up. Spilled water right there. Spilled water. I could probably just do it there. But this is the easiest point to do it. Yep. I was about to say, are you gonna walk across that water?
Easy does it. God, just hate it.
What did you just get? What did you just... You fell over. What did you just steal from it, though? It's a robot. What did it have? Twisted metal. You stole a video game from it, you bastard. If I go through that, I'm just gonna die instantly, aren't I? Oh, mutagen laboratory.
Warning. The oxygen atmosphere generating
Oh!
system is no longer functioning.
I'm on this side.
Product failure is imminent.
How the fuck? How did... Oh! Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. I didn't even know these were on two different levels. I didn't notice. Fuck. Ooh. This'll be good. Oh my Jesus. Hello there. Bone haphazardly form its mass, sports a human head that goes out of sync with the pulsating of its other parts. Human host with genetic hybrid growing out of it. Birth was clearly messy, I'd say so. It's pretty big. Mm-hmm. Spots splayed open. Eviscerated corpse, so you probably weren't made. Preserved conjoined twins. The two heads fused together, a pair of spines meet. The spines wrap around each other. So it has a double helix spine? Because it says they wrap around each other. Just read out track factors like equipment feedback, or factors like... Tracks factors, okay. Overgrown hybrid. Hybrid was completely unhuman, not as much as absolutely certain. Twin hybrids. How about you go read that one first, because, nothing good. Alright, man, that bitch from shipping won't get off my back. You fuck a girl real good and she just comes crawling back. Jesus Christ, mate. You have a problem. If she doesn't get out of my hair, I'll have her move off ship. Dr. Milan is a prick, but he looks after me like that. I gotta say, being on Project Seed is awesome, man. Okay, so we gotta do some pretty noxious shit, but in exchange I get a lot of protection and an honorary title, Dr. DeSantos. I like it. Dr. Milan knows about my contacts and private cargo that arrives on board, and I know he hates it, but there ain't nobody else prepared to work under Dr. Backman. That guy is one twisted fuck, and also one of my best customers. I get imports, sure, but my own private lab is what manufactures Backman's pathway shit. Funny, I never realized how dependent these smartasses of science are on drugs. Personally, never touch the stuff. You gotta have your wits about you, man, especially around here. Wow, Dr. Williams? Charlotte. I never would have figured that uptight woman was a slut, but holy hell, she just gave me the ride of my fucking life. Who'd have thought it? Slinky lace under the lab coat of hers, and for a woman in her mid-40s, a body that makes you want to get on your knees and howl at the moon. Against the table, pressed up against the viewport windows, on top, underneath, like a friggin' rattlesnake. Really? I don't need to know this. Of course she's Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes. She's Looney Tunes, guys. That... You just say loony. This guy has a problem. I mean, he has a lot of problems, but... Probably thinks I'm her dead husband or something. Like I care, as long as she keeps coming to me to fulfill her needs. God, I want you to die. What's this guy's name? DeSantos. I hope he's dead. He's probably dead, honestly. It's hard to not dislike some of the people in the PDAs. Crazy but smart, and she has no idea how much I know about her little project. I saw the details. People think I'm a smack-talking smartass, but I've been training on the Groom Lake since I was 16. I studied chemistry and genetics, aced all of it too. She thinks I'm too stupid to understand. Thinking I could have gotten myself in too deep here. The drug thing was fine, but this whole industrial espionage thing is kind of freaky. I don't think Dr. Milan knows. I know Lincoln watches me with an eagle eye, but he can't know for sure. If he did, he'd eject my ass from the ship with the rest of the failed hybrids, but goddamn the money is good. I earned my year's salary by sending some info to Black Star Industries. My contact gave me more money than I could convince for leaking one report. Conceive for leaking one report. I met the guy while I was on leave. He was a smug dickhead who somehow knew what I did, and then he flashed the cash. I've got no loyalties to the company. I know how Dr. Milan treats loyal staff. That guy can turn on a dime when it suits him. I've heard of weird shit going on down in the decks below, and Seed has me feeling it'll soon be time to get the hell out of Dodge, pronto. 1 or 2 more reports might have just given me what I need. Nobody knows about my little acts of espionage, but who'd care? The ship is falling apart. Some of those fucked up things that Backman and Milan made are on the prowl. I stashed away my cash as soon as I heard things were going wrong, but money ain't gonna make a spit's worth of difference if we all get killed. Milan's taking all this way too calmly. Actually, I'd say he's enjoying all this. He came into the lab this morning. He still makes his report to the lab, and was grinning the whole damn time, his eyes all red like he was coming down from a high. That guy does not need drugs for a high. His general fucked upness is what he rides, and here's was me thinking Backman was the crazy one. Yeah, Milan's pretty crazy. It's just us. Oh god, not even Backman's around now. Charlotte was dragged away to the labs a few days ago. We're sealed off from the other decks. I reckon it's only a matter of time before Milan decides to do something about me too. I've been living on this ship for years. I know about hidden passages that even Milan doesn't know about. I'll get over to the communications array and let off a signal. Hopefully they'll get to us before Dr. Milan finds out. I don't think that happened. What are we looking at? Terminals.
How can we allow this?
You had nothing to do with it.
The purpose of the group lane.
Oh, here's Backman. Oh, I know. Reject C. Subject died during birth. It can only be...
So they don't care.
What if they knew?
Oh, they light this place up. It's a deep space vessel. They're not gonna know. Subject died during birth. It can only be surmised that death was due to a failing in the host, and as all reports and tests leading up to the birth showed no signs of fetal defect. Upon further investigation of the woman's medical history, it was noted that she experienced complications when giving birth to a child previously. This host would not have been used had this been highlighted. In light of her medical history, I now assume this was the cause of the fetal distress and death of the subject. Host is being kept alive and has undergone 1 transfusion. Revoke host's life support order and dispose of body with hybrid reject C. Okay. What else we got? Hybrid Reject 604. During the autopsy of Hybrid 604, there were signs of renal failure. It appears the kidneys were unable to process the amino acids required for the breakdown of nutrients. The damage to the liver, stomach, and intestines show the same degenerative patterns. It is possible that the report of the mother giving birth 3 months prior was in error. Further reports regarding the failure of mutagenic compounds will be finalized later. Hybrid Reject 811! A highly unusual form of rejection such as has not been observed before manifested in this hybrid. It is entirely possible that the mutagenic compounds used to synthesize the hybrid DNA was faulty in this particular instance. Usually with any rejection there is a sign of initial bonding and then a breakdown. But in this case there was absolutely no bonding attempted whatsoever. Given the thoroughness which we create the DNA, I suspect that the centrifuge for this machine for this particular batch was faulty. Repair and a maintenance check of the machine is required and ordered immediately. Destroy what remains and also destroy the fetus. Now, did I read the recommendation for this one? No, there wasn't one. Just comments. Okay, so what's that? Readout screens. Oh, Jesus, I'm a lot of shit. Liquid nitrogen. Why do I need liquid nitrogen? I don't know what I'm doing. Here's another power cell. No, look at that. Thank you. It's locked. Alright. I feel like this is about to get me killed, just because this is a game, and that thing does not look very dead.
If they were more open, this
Alright.
wouldn't happen.
They said I'd never make it to 60. Ha! 85, you fuckers! Old and still cooking with gas.
What cost?
A bit of our humanity, I suppose.
3 bastard kids and I outlived them all. Okay, so I was young when I had them. Those girls never even knew I was the father, of course. I had to switch the DNA sample so they wouldn't know the little shits were mine. I'm too old now for all that, but you never completely lose your eye for ladies. Oh, Backman. Okay, so this is him. I might have false teeth, Dr. Milan, but I'm no moron. For the good of humanity, I'm a sociopath and alleged rapist of women, but your little speech to the crew was less sincere than anything I could say with a straight face. At least you know how to turn a blind eye whenever I have to get rid of troublesome subjects, right, Milan? The new gas from the chambers is working splendid, an improved kill rate of 60% on the old formula. I watch those poor fuckers writhe and die. We have a viewing window now, just so we can make sure it's done. If I were a moral man, I'd call it perverse. It's lucky for Project Seed that I couldn't give a shit. I thrive when I don't have to answer to everyone with a conscience. This will not do, not at all. I need more subjects. The rejection ratio of the DNA splicing is stratospheric, so not only do I need more bodies, but I need better ones. They bring me imports and strays, but the best results are achieved with crew members. One cannot prey too often on those, of course, no matter the need. My chosen ones were always those who wouldn't be missed. The furnaces are inadequate for my disposal requirements. I'm told they're so hot that they could destroy dark matter. They seem slow to respond when burning flesh, though, and the smell is hardly pleasant either. It reminds me of that injured dog I found as a little boy growing up in Missouri. It looked at me with a pleading look, the kind a sick patient gives a doctor they trust absolutely. Naturally, I stomped on the mongrel's head. It was mercy. There are too many in society who have a similarly damaged disposition. It's a kindness to stuff out their worthless lives. Alright, I must get more pathway. That little prick DeSantos is usually more than forthcoming with its ingredients, but he says it's his own suppliers are having problems. I know you, DeSantos. I know you're not a real doctor. I know the kind. I have 5 PhDs and can tell when men have been hired for their instincts rather than their knowledge. Meanwhile, the cutting and splicing continues. Oh, and Charlotte, we all know about your little experiment, you stupid bitch. First she kills her partner by accidentally exposing him to a lethal virus, and then she goes gaga for him. That's the sort of beautiful incompetence that slays me. I spent years perfecting the art of the kill, making a murder appear a mishap, and she did it all completely by accident. What perfect nonsense. I held a subject down today and used my surgical hammer to cave in his windpipe. Then I gouged out his eyes and tried to rip his jaw from its socket. My goodness, what an outburst. I'm becoming careless. I need more pathway. Dr. Milan is starting to worry that my tendencies cannot be controlled. He need not worry. I'm still focused on Seed. Seed is still just that, a seed, but this chrysalis will soon break open and blossom. The successfully bred Homo novi wait in their containment cells, while their unsuccessful brethren, reduced to a viral mulch that's already breached the containment seals of the ship, grow. Its genetic makeup might be a little more than trash, but it is astoundingly tenacious. I have to respect that which kills with such efficiency. Jesus. Yeah. I woke up in the emergency room today. Somebody found me on the stairs. I can't remember much. What I do know is that both my fucking legs are up in casts. I better get comfortable because Dr. Graham says I'll be here for at least a month. Oh, so you got eaten while there, didn't you? We die as the Novi cut us down, but I'm not ready to be replaced by a new species. Our creations are impressive, but I don't share Milan's fanaticism for what is happening here. I must try to make sure one of the lifeboats is available for me. A shame there was not another for that delectable young Luth. What was her name? Callister? I would have liked to have her around when the ship was going to hell. She's dead, however. How unfortunate. I may be old, but I'll tear anyone who tries to stop me from leaving apart at the limbs. I have survived police investigations, court cases, vengeful spouses, and idealistic lab hands. I will gut any shitbag trying to prevent my escape, and that includes you, Milan. I will jab out your eyeballs and eat them before I submit to you. You died, didn't ya? You died pretty hard. I mean, obviously you died. What was who was that? Who was that? Backman. Okay. What else we got? Just computer terminal there. I told him to look at that, and he's fucked off. Here, I'm gonna continue to wander around for a bit. Can you walk through that? Can you walk through that? Did I do it before? Or am I gonna get shot? Or is it like, what is this? Laser grid? You can't walk through it. How the oh, it's still, it's on a different level! You idiot, it's on a different fucking level! Wait, was there something down there? No, there's just a black void. Okay, so, airlock. This is an airlock. Shoot it! Oh, okay, so those are for the metal slug gun. That didn't do anything. Liquid nitrogen? I could freeze it and then blow it to fuck. Yep. There you go. Nicely done, John. Nicely done. Oh, Jesus Christ. Aimless peregrination, no doubt delirious. Yep. I'd say so.
This shit is straight out of the eugenics war. I taught this in my history class. All of this research will be lost. Does that mean that this was for nothing?
For nothing.
Blow it up. Okay. Alright, Lana, Daryl, Frederick, and Nay. Subject host, Tara McCormick, First Lieutenant, Marine Liaison. I don't know how to say that. Okay, subject observations, rambunctious. Subject appears to have inherited her mother's powerful physical bolt and latent aggression. Lana has the makings of an excellent alpha female candidate. Recommendation, move Lana to a group cell, and isolation appears to promote irritability. Oh, I has isolation. Alright, Daryl. Willow Brody, nurse, medical deck. Quiet but intelligent. Attempted to pick the lock in his cell yesterday but failed to escape. Excellent puzzle-solving skills, and while not especially aggressive, has a strong build. Thinker, clearly. Frederick. Mary Maxwell, non-crew member, caterer from Phobos. Shows little of his mother's solid frame, but is a superb hunter. Stalks and learns tactics by observing the others. Appears to be developing a strong tactical mind. So you have, what, strength, speed... or strength, intelligence, tactics, and... Okay, Ellen Marachek. Space tourist, underwatch, cunning, extraordinarily fast and dangerous, appears to prefer isolation as attempted pairings result in fatalities, takes an alpha role easily, dominates the other nerd. A definite candidate for Lana's mate. Ellen Marachek. Is that my child? I am Marachek. Do I have 2 kids? No, I don't. I don't think they said Nay was her name, though. Ellen is the wife, wasn't it? Is Nay my child? I don't remember. They haven't been, you know... Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, Francis, I still lie awake at night thinking of you. You haunt my dreams, my nightmares, and my fantasies. We found love, dear. Even when we worked in Kane's Sydney lab, creating viral strains that could turn a human inside out, we loved and made love. Ours was a match made in heaven. We worked on only the most exciting viruses and pathogens. Our work together was a Mozart requiem, a piece of perfection. My work now is a pale imitation of what it was once. Oh, Francis, how long ago was it now? It must be 10 years, but it feels like only yesterday. You were too sick to transfer to the Groom Lake when I did. You died just as I took up my post, but don't fret, my angel. I've begun concocting a way of bringing you back to life. I always called you my little Frankenstein. Do you remember that? Shredding the boundary goal between life and death was always your ultimate goal. Well, now with Project Seed entering its second phase, my plans can finally be put into practice. The laboratories are off limits between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., so that's when I work. Naturally, I prepare all of the calculations of machine settings in my quarters. I keep the subject under a false name in one of the pods. So far, not even Dr. Milan knows what I'm doing. Each major laboratory operation I perform takes no more than 1 hour, and I always erase the machine records at the end of each one. I'm using your DNA, my darling. With the enhanced regenerative abilities of the genetic material we've already synthesized for Seed, you will be reborn, but you'll be impervious to physical regeneration, impervious to physical... degeneration. Immune to sickness and pain. I'll have done what you would have wanted and made you perfect. And when you step healthy, unblemished, and reconstituted from your glass womb, you'll never leave me again. She killed you, didn't she? Things have felt strange lately. My work continues, but I swear, darling Francis, I can feel you watching me. I'm trying to work longer hours to complete the new and reborn you, but it's not easy. Marvin has already had a look at some of my work, I'm sure, as if he'd had any concept of what I'm trying to achieve anyways. I still wonder, my darling, why you cursed me as you died. You know it was an accident. I know you remember that. It wasn't murder. I've never committed a murder, not even when we tested that pathogen on those troublesome neighbors. It was an experiment. How are we to know they'd choke to death on their own innards? I suppose death was a possibility, but that's science. I fear for your continued life. I'm afraid Milan knows. Who else knows? Have they contaminated you? I will run extra tests to make sure your code is not flawed or altered in any way. I'm anxious. I've started scratching my arms. Badly, at this rate, I may end up looking like a leprous toad. Like that leprous toad Backman. Oh, my dearest Francis, I have failed you. Milan knows. He confronted me about it directly. He wanted me to make you just like them. I cannot have you crawling in all fours like some dog in the street. The very idea offends me. I will protect you with my life. You will be reborn. I swear this on my life. It's a double life swear there, buddy. How do I blow up everyone in this room? Oh, wait, I just went to that one. What am I doing? Tiny hybrid. Bone mending glue. That's a lot of items, guys. What the fuck am I doing? I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we're done here. I think someone's just taking... yeah. No, let's keep going. I'll try to make at least a little bit more progress, because there's been a lot of reading this episode.
They're almost human. Especially their eyes.
Don't get too close.
Withered, tiny, healthy. Yes, he's probably not too happy right now. Oh, hello. Go that way. Hello. I hit a loading screen. Found a loading screen. Well, that's something. Oh, hello! Jesus, what is that? Is like a hologram of it? Oof. More PDAs. Can I go in there? Yes, I can.
Don't go any further. I'm warning you now.
How could you do this?
I do with my children as I see fit.
It's barbaric.
It is.
Spare me the pity of the righteous. Your daughter owes her life.
You did this to my daughter?
What do you know about Rebecca?
That was her name.
ARG was good on this ship, Mr. Magic. Cancer, HIV, Ebola. I eliminated them all. Her life is mine to do with as I choose. Oh yes, I know about everything, Johnny boy. I know about your daughter.
Did you make my daughter one of these?
About your wife.
John. You need to hurry. We're close.
Sorry, I have to read. Have some reading to do. Alright. Oh, this is Milan! The new year begins, the wheel turns, and the Groom Lake continues to lead the vanguard of scientific discovery for all of humankind. But yet I feel dissatisfied. Even as the peons who work under me celebrate the new year, I wonder, why? Why would you celebrate such an asinine concept as an outdated Gregorian calendar on a ship that's currently swimming through the depths of space? The reason is clear. Comfort. They fear the unknown. The alien, the impossible. I do not. I embrace the unforgiving cosmos with open arms. The problem with the research we do is the humans doing it constrained by fear. Or what? Yeah, constrained as they are by the conscious remorse, and sometimes even fear, not restrained by fear. We try to grasp the infinite and give it a framework that ill fits its cosmic splendor. Goddammit. This is my 10th year as a Special Projects Director for Kane Corporation. Despite my discoveries and quests for knowledge, I'm held back at every turn by paperwork, moralizing scientists, and that group of degenerate toadies that I sit on the board with. If I were rid of them, then my word would be God. My word. Not the word of a corporation. Still, they have their uses. The research is funded by Kane, and the Groom Lake is kept running by the money and personnel they provide. But the time will come when all this changes. You mark my words. I'm inundated with emails from all departments about inconsistencies with storage and contaminated samples. This grand masquerade is something more tedious than it's actually worth. Worst of all was Dr. Way, and that technician, Miss Callister, is it? A lot of people forget her name. I'd normally make short work of such troublemakers, but it hardly seems worth our while. Troublemakers must be allowed to make trouble, because if they disappear, that legitimizes their claims, and somebody will always take up the fallen crusader's torch. Dr. Backman's tendencies are becoming harder to restrain. I'm well aware of his shortcomings. The old man is as brilliant as he is deranged, yet he manages to go about his work with sociopathic glee. He's useful to have around. He's requested more bodies for seed, specifically more women who are recently pregnant. That is problematic, as we have very few such women on board and imports are not easy to come by. We may have to play this one under the radar. That fool Dr. Gray complained yet again about his beloved insects becoming more aggressive as a result of the power outages. So what? Let them spill out onto the decks as far as I'm concerned. The importance of seed outranks the hydroponics project work by 1,000 to 1. I do like playing chess with Dr. Gray, of course. I win every time. A little fact he's unlikely to tell anyone, although he does seem quite happy to contact anyone who's interested with the opinion that he'd be the next best candidate for my job. Sebastian, you would not, could not, handle what I do. If you believe otherwise, then you're as great a fool as I imagine you to be. When the day that I foresee comes, your rotting corpse will be under my feet, and I will laugh. Dr. Williams is still under the delusion that I don't know about her personal research. Officially, it's illegal for staff to conduct their own research, but this is interesting. Recreating her dead lover in the form of a hybrid? How fascinating. If it works, I'll make use of it. If it doesn't, then I'll burn it. It'll burn with the rest of the subjects. The woman is obsessed, and I know that. DeSantos is playing no small part in feeding her delusions. I know her secret research won't cause me any problems, or I would never have allowed her on Project Seed. So it seems contaminated waste from the corpse disposal overspill is contaminating the ship. It's causing fungal growth so my various drones tell me. The fungus is a riveting proposition, though. While I'm angry at Dr. Backman for terminating more subjects than strictly necessary, these unintended side effects are fascinating. I intimated as much to Dr. Gray, and of course he stroked his ego with, hints at promotion and glory. He'll keep the fungus alive. The engineers want it destroyed, but I'm sure we can delay that. This experiment is becoming more engaging by the day, and I haven't even had to lift a finger. So while they clog up my inbox with demands and Rome burns, I plan to play the violin. We're more than secure here anyway, and this is a certain inevitability about it. I must record the daily developments as the experiment grows. I can't remember that guy's name. He was like the Emperor of Rome, or King of Rome, or whatever, and he was playing the violin while the place burned to the ground. Okay. What else you got? It is as I foresaw, panic, destruction, and mayhem, and yet Seed continues apace. Once the fervor and the flame dies down, we'll sweep the decks of detritus and repurpose all of it for my beautiful hybrid creations. No more growing plants for the good of mankind. God is no longer in the machine, my friends. I am God. My beautiful children have excelled themselves. They kill, they learn, they adapt. A primal species without any of the trappings of morality. It's their time now. They almost came to be once, many years ago, but were snuffed out by humanity, afraid of its natural successors. This systematic extermination was given a name, the Eugenics Wars. The public knew it as corporate warfare. In truth, it was a coordinated genocide. Humanity wasn't ready for Professor Jaren's astounding discovery and sought to destroy it. His work was not perfect, of course. That's where I came in. I spent most of my life as part of my Kane, trying to access Professor Jaren's original work. Old Man Kane pushed me to the top because we shared an ideal, the utilization of science for the perfection of humanity. Where we differed were the methods by which this was to be achieved. Not that he had much more to say after I held that pillow to his face as he lay in his hospital bed. All for a higher purpose. So you smothered the CEO, I assume. Creation of our species from raw subjects will become an impossible now that the crew are dead, dying, or unclean, but that's hardly an issue. Any subjects who were flawed or imperfected have been turned into the fertilizer that will nurture the perfection of the surviving race. Now the challenge is moving the Graham Lake out of range of any other ships. No one can be allowed to escape this ship alive. Any good, strong survivors will become members of the new race. I am their creator. I control, I transcend. They're gonna kill you. DeSantos, I'm so very disappointed in you. A distress signal. I thought we were of one mind here in Seed. I'll castrate and destroy you for this betrayal. Your flawed body is hardly worthy of becoming one of my children, but for now I must turn off this accursed signal. You cannot hide from me, Marvin, you drug-peddling little fuck. Okay. Looks like there's one more, hopefully not as long as that one. Alright, I've been reassigned to investigate the disappearance and murder of 2 scientists in the employ of Dr. Milan. A strange matter to be sure. I've been observing the movements of some of these eggheads, and I can't say I'm too impressed. Doesn't anybody around here record their comings or goings, or make any notes? There is no traditional organization in this department whatsoever. Project Seed answers to nobody. This I know, but I thought these scientific types were always made notes. Not that I care about admin, but I have very much care about finding out who's selling weapon-grade secrets. Industrial secrets are a matter of life and death, especially death in this case. My investigation will be thorough and no stone will be left unturned. The staff here are strange, and in fact I'd say lots of them are even crazy, but I couldn't care less about that. I just want names and answers. I got this job because I get things done, not because of my warm and caring personality. At the moment, people are taking umbrage to my investigation, but security is a constant and essential part of shipboard life, especially when we're talking about industrial espionage. I'm not sure where the 2 missing scientists are, but it seems based on the modified records I found that they were killed and ejected into space. Any other man would assume that these 2 were the criminals, but I don't buy that. As far as suspects go, I've ruled out Charlotte Williams and Marvin DeSantos. Charlotte because she doesn't know where she is half of the time, and DeSantos because he's just smirking shit for brains. I'm confident that he's involved in drug dealing, and I will give him this. He is cautious and acts like a real ladies' man, but I know the truth. I've seen him rejected repeatedly at the bar. Since July, I've had to operate under the pretense that I'm an assistant. It's lucky that, in my career, I had some emergency room experience. The only other person who knows about my true purpose here is Dr. Milan. He's been encouraging. He constantly supplies me with information that I require for my investigation. At times, is a little over-helpful. Still, he seems honest enough. For the record, I'm well aware of the kind of man Dr. Milan is. I've seen his experience with my own eyes. I've seen what happens when the bodies are disposed of and the burning fires of the furnace. But he does what's required to justify the means. There are few men in this world who will do what has to be done. For that, I admire him. He told me to watch over Dr. Williams' experiments. It seems they're unofficial, and although I prepared a report to Kane to have her removed from her position, Dr. Milan immediately overrode my request. I respect him, but to be honest, I don't like having my authority overruled. Backman, of all people, was sniffing around today. It seems the old psychopath suddenly became curious. I asked Dr. Milan for further instructions, and he told me to incapacitate the old man. This I did. A shame I had to break the old guy's kneecaps. Honestly, I was hoping to slit his throat, but Dr. Milan insisted that he remain alive. Alive and in pain, but unable to move. I'm revising my earlier opinion of that DeSantos character. I still think he's a pathetic little shit, but now I believe he was partially responsible for some of the stolen information. He strikes me as an amateur put up to this by an outside agent. I'll deal with DeSantos soon, but first I've got to monitor his movements. Make one move, pal, and I'll have you. Dr. Milan has earmarked me for one of his experiments. I know this because when I attempted to leave the ship to report to Kane Corps, I discovered my access was restricted and blocked. I came back to my quarters and found Milan waiting there. He was waiting with 2 of those hellish critters that he's created. I'm not squeamish, but those things make me nauseous. I'm currently awaiting what he calls processing. I suppose at this stage I should make peace with God. I've killed many men in my life, and I'll never say that I feel remorse for it, and I won't give Dr. Milan the satisfaction of hearing me pray for mercy. My last note on this affair are that Dr. Milan himself is at the heart of the events on the board aboard this ship. I was blind to it. I refused to believe that he was capable of creating such devastation. I always thought that scientists liked control, but Milan breaks all the rules as far as science is concerned. The leaked information, the fungal growth, the missing scientists. I'm beginning to suspect he even knows that DeSantos was actually selling intelligence and may have fed him the information to sell. To what end, I don't know. I suspect it was because DeSantos kept Bachman drugged to the eyeballs with whatever powerful stimulants he happened to have so Bachman could continue his work. I can hear the machines being turned on. I welcome my fate. At least I know that I did my job for Kane Corporation. Also, so is this, Lincoln's? 'Cause, it may be. Mainframe computer. Go that way. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, we are done here. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Hope you stop by again sometime, and I'll see you then if you do.